Welcome back to SleeplessRonin Plays. Today I'm doing a different kind of video. Today I'm going to be talking about my 21 favorite things from 2021. Because the year's ending, it's time to go out, a little bit of a celebration in this ever-continuing world incident. So we got to find something good on the overall, right? So I've decided to lay out my favorite 21 things, and at the end there'll be a few honorable mentions. And I'm going to really try to stay away from anything negative. I want to see this year go out good, or as good as it can. So the first I'm going to be talking about some board games, mostly Kickstarters I got that came in. First one up, we can see right here, got the stack right here. This is literally from the ground to me, right here, a board game, one board game, with all of the expansions, This is Horizon Zero Dawn, the board game. Wave 2 for the Kickstarter, which is the happy part, came out this year. So, yeah, really thrilling, excellent minis, fun game. Sadly, I actually haven't gotten to play any of the expansions yet in this whole stupid stack. I played the base game a whole ton, but I haven't really played the expansions because work-life balance has been more work than life for more than half the year. So, it's been a bit rough on that front, but I'm okay. And I will eventually get around to playing this. I got some friends that enjoy the game as well. We will play this thing through at some point in time. Next up, let me bend over here. Got the Terraforming Mars big box. Has every single expansion in the Terraforming Mars thing in this. All of them. This is still one of my favorite games of all time. I have no problem sitting down with some friends and literally just wasting an entire evening into the early morning hours playing the longest, most convoluted game of this ever, with every single expansion added in, and none of the rules to speed the game up. No speeding the game up. We want this thing to take time. So we enjoy just sort of sitting down and letting the games roll out with this game. Fantastic game. Absolutely love it. The 3D tiles are gorgeous in this box, and the box holds every single card, tile, mini, everything you need for this thing, all the cubes. It's all in here. It's beautiful. Fantastic game. And the big box came out this year. In the same vein, Terraforming Mars, the Ares expansion. It's the kind of like Terraforming Mars crossed with, let's say, Race for the Galaxy. That's right, it's Race for the Galaxy. It's like Terraforming Mars sort of crossed with Race for the Galaxy. So it's fun. It's faster, a lot faster than Terraforming Mars. It's a very nice game. I'm hoping they had some expansions for this thing eventually in the future. I haven't seen anything yet about any of them. I haven't really looked for them either, but hopefully some expansions, add more cards. Because it's a lot of fun. And it has different mechanics than the base Terraforming Mars game, so when you sit down to play this, you've got to really think a bit differently how you're playing it. Still a very good game. And this is the last of the board gaming things on this video. This is the Gamer's Chest. It's another Kickstarter that just came in recently for me. Although it did take about 40 days in transit time from the Ukraine to my domicile. I really love this thing. It's going to be great for role-playing games and board games. The little tiles inside are great for like organizing like player parts and pieces and cards and stuff like that in any good board game. Plus it turns into a dice tower. You can roll your dice in for role-playing or whatever other game you're playing. So it's a really fantastic thing. It's gorgeous wooden oak construction with the wonderful engraving. And I really love this thing. When it came in, I just kind of immediately became attached to it. It's just fantastic. So, hooray! It's phenomenal, and yeah, I'm really happy I backed the project. It's really cool. It also weighs a good amount, so it feels really solid. Let me get these boxes out of the way. You don't need to see them anymore. Although I'm not going to do the whole stack. That's kind of the end of board gaming, but it's not fully the end of board gaming. One of the things I want to talk about is the Battletech Kickstarter from Catalyst Game Labs. The Clan Invasion Wave 2 stuff came in this year. And yeah, I've done some videos on it, several videos on it. I do lots of Battletech videos on my channel, as you know. Absolutely freaking fantastic. I mean, I love these mechs. These mechs are just some of the most awesome mechs. You know, well, all mechs are kind of cool in some ways, but these resculpts really, really just capture the brand new look. It makes the game feel fresh and new again. I absolutely love Battletech. I run a campaign roughly every weekend. I've got some very active players. It's a lot of fun. We love the mechs. The new sculpts are just, in my opinion, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's really revived the game, made it fresh and new. I've seen some artwork for some more they're going to be doing. I don't know if it's a new Kickstarter or they're going to be releasing new boxes like they did the Barnes & Noble Wolf's Dragoons box, but, you know, whatever. I don't care. New mechs, new boxes, hooray. That's all awesome. And there will be, come the new year, we will definitely be resuming my analysis of various technical readouts. As many of them as I have, I'll go through them. I'd love to get some paper copies of 3145 and 3150, but alas, I've only got the digital PDFs. If I have to, I'll use them that way, but I'm kind of a big Dead Trees fan for these things, so, you know, there's that. Now, I'm going to talk about a game I don't think I've ever talked about on my channel before. You probably don't know this, but I am a Warhammer 40k fan as well. Yeah, I know all this people that says, ooh, two separate communities. These are both communities I actually participate in and quite enjoy. And my favorite thing from 40k this last year, 2021, was the re-release of my first chapter I ever played when chapters actually meant something. I mean, I played 40k in 2nd edition when, like, Space Marines were just Space Marines. And, like, the fluff and the lore for, like, different chapters was just barely being formed. And, like, everybody just kind of, like, painted their Marines up as Ultramarines. But it didn't mean anything. But in 4th edition, the Black Templars dropped. And I became a Black Templar fan. And I absolutely freaking love the Black Templar box, the Black Templar Codex. Everything they've done, Hellebrecht model, the Grimaldus model, all these things are fantastic and brand new. And they're absolutely thrilling to me. I love them. They're so cool. I mean, yeah. I've built mine, but I haven't yet painted them, so that's a little bit of an unfortunate aspect for me. Still, I love them. They're fantastic. And though, seeing what they're releasing for a couple of the other armies I play Chaos Space Marines, I play Tau, I play Eldar. And all of those armies, like, they're going to get a real boost next year. Some of them getting an insane boost, but we're going to move on from that. And so, yeah, my favorite thing from 2021 for 40k, though, the Black Templar box set. Great models, awesome codex, fantastic. And of course the models that go along with it are also very fantastic as well. Now we're going to move from gaming in general, or tabletop and board gaming in general. We'll be going back to video games later on. But let's talk about movies. I was thrilled with the theaters reopened where I could go see films. I mean, I love going to films. I used to go to films really almost weekly on Discount Tuesdays, and I've resumed doing that as much as I can and enjoy. So I'm going to cover some of my favorite movies of this year. First up on the list is Free Guy. It's a Ryan Reynolds film where Ryan Reynolds once again just really plays Ryan Reynolds, but that's absolutely fine. I mean, do you really want him to play a role where he's not playing as Ryan Reynolds? I mean, even when I watched Red Notice on Netflix, he's still Ryan Reynolds. He's just who he is. But Free Guy is an amazingly imaginative film, and I love all the cast of that whole thing. It's a beautifully done movie. It's got great things. And personally, I think it is absolutely a laugh right all the way through. I mean, come on, who can't forget catchphrase? And then, moving beyond the comedy, I want to talk about Dune. Denis Villeneuve's Dune version. Oh, I am so freaking glad that they greenlit Part 2 because that was fantastic. Now, I love the old cult version of Dune. That one, you know, give me the old, I think it's the TV version that expanded the movie to like 3 hours long with the animated opening. Oh, I'll sit down and watch that any day of the week. Patrick Stewart's in it. Oh, that's just beautiful. I mean, the cast of the original one is amazing, and the cast of the new one is also freaking amazing. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Jason Momoa. It is a beautiful cast. It is truly fantastic. Oscar Isaac. I mean, yeah, I love the film. I've already pre-ordered my 4K Blu-ray copy of it whenever it's coming out, which is actually pretty soon. So, yeah, I am really looking forward to Part 2. Hopefully we won't have to wait longer than 2023 for that, but I'm expecting probably 2024. I mean, I don't know movie dates. I know shit changes all the time. I want to talk about an unexpected end of a trilogy, or maybe it's not an end, maybe it's a redo. I don't know where this stands, actually. But a film that took 32 years to get to come to life, more or less. I mean, not really 32 years, but, you know, it's 32 years from Part 3, from 2 to 3. And I loved, I mean, I'm talking about Ghostbusters Afterlife, if you haven't figured this out. Freaking Ghostbusters Afterlife was an amazing ride. It was It was fantastic. I mean, I actually sat down before I went and saw that in theaters and rewatched 1 and 2 because I wanted to remind myself of this. And I'm actually surprised at how well those hold up over time. I mean, come on, the last one was filmed in '89 or was in theaters in '89, and it still holds up pretty well to this day. And that's fantastic. And to have Afterlife come along and fall on the end and actually feel like it really just takes up the mantle and it moves forward. Oh, that is fantastic. I absolutely love that. Afterlife was a fantastic film. Truly amazing, truly fun to watch. It was just great. Then, of course, we've got our plethora of Marvel movies, and I will go see I go see all the Marvel films, of course. I mean, we're talking Spider-Man: No Way Home was fantastic. That was amazing. That was, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but oh, that was really, really good. The problem is I can't choose. Was it my favorite, or did I prefer Eternals, or did I prefer Shang-Chi? I mean, all of them really captured it for me. I mean, those were all fantastic. I liked Black Widow, but I'm actually not going to put it in this list, so it's not going to be in the top 21 favorite things of 2021. But Shang-Chi, Eternals, and Spider-Man: No Way Home all were just amazing films. I loved all of them. In fact, I think I might actually have liked Eternals the most, because I think Eternals kind of just blows the door open for this Phase 4 stuff. Whatever coming in Phase 4, there's going to be so much around what I think is happening in the Eternals, and the way the Eternals just change the scope and the shape of the Marvel Universe. So I actually am really interested in that. I think that one was actually my favorite, even though I think that in a lot of ways many people didn't like that one as much. I mean, don't get me wrong, Shang-Chi was an absolutely fantastic movie, and I loved it too. It's so hard to say, oh, I love this one the most. They're all really good. And then, you know, now I've covered, that was 6 movies we just talked about right there. So we had 6 game things, 6 movies. Now we're going to move on to some TV shows slash streaming service shows. Actually, most of these are all streaming service shows. And that's the way I watch most of my TV anyways, because live TV is often out of order or messy or filled with advertisements, and I don't really want to watch that. So first up we have WandaVision. This was, I love that show. It was just the art styling, the way they did every episode, kind of like is like a classic TV opening, and the whole plot. Oh, that was really, really strong. And the way they fooled you with a couple things. Yeah, that was a great Disney Plus show. Now we're going to jump over to a Netflix one. It's a new cartoon, and I haven't actually fully finished the series. I think I have 1 episode to go. It's Inside Job. It's a conspiracy theory thing, and I was really worried about this thing on the outset, because the modern world is full of really terrible conspiracy theories, and I just worry about people that believe in them. So seeing a show that's really poking fun at conspiracy theories overall, I actually think that was actually really good, and I'm enjoying it. It's also, I mean, the characters are very understandable, in my opinion, so I really like that. The animation is pretty good, the stories are fun, and it's very funny. So I'm enjoying it. I love cartoons, so, you know, for me that was just like an immediate go-to. In cartoons also, let's talk about The Bad Batch. The Star Wars animated series from this year was really good, and I loved that. I mean, the characters, again, actually seeing Clone Force 99 in action that well was fantastic, but for me, the series was really bookended super strong too. The opening, how they tie that in to like stuff like Rebels and the bigger Star Wars universe right there, and all the way back to like Episode 3, where you can actually see the exact moment things are happening. That was good. And then the ending, oh, that ending. That mountain, the doctor's there, oh, that is some tantalizing stuff for Season 2, and I can't wait till we dig into that further. Now, let's jump back to, well, actually, we're still on Disney. This is Disney Plus again, that Bad Batch is Disney Plus. Let's jump to another Disney Plus show, but this is back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Loki. How do you describe a tour de force like that? That was absolutely fantastic from moment 1 to moment last. I mean, that was just a roller coaster ride of emotion and humor and drama and like mystery, and oh, that was so good. I mean, that's when I actually I haven't rewatched it yet, but I really want to rewatch it because it was so much fun. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the Owl House Season 2A. Because we haven't gotten 2B yet, but oh, what a fantastically animated series. This is on just Disney, which is really kind of unfortunate, because if this is actually really a streaming service thing, then maybe it would have a better chance of continuing than where it's currently sitting, having a Disney executive decide to axe it because of reasons. And if you watch it, you'll see the reasons as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I could be completely wrong on that. They actually, oh, it's not syndicatable. Well, actually, I watch it every day in syndication nearly just for noise. They play 2 episodes of The Owl House, not always in order, but you can still watch it. I mean, not everything in the show has to fall in order, although it does make a lot more sense if it's chronologically shown, which boggles my mind they do this, because Disney Plus, or Disney, also shows things like The Miraculous Ladybug. Again, I told you I love animation. I watch animation, tons of animation. And when they do The Miraculous Ladybug, they don't even release it in the right freaking chronological order. I mean, I have to go to websites online to find what order you watch episodes in order for things to make sense. I mean, the first time I sat down and watched this show, there was a point in time like a character's introduced, and everybody's like, oh, hi, we know you. And I'm like, I don't know you. I've never seen you on screen before. Oh, that's because they released this out of chronological order, and it didn't make any sense. So I can see that being a problem for the Owl House as well, but really, this show is absolutely fantastic. It's so cute. It's so fun. It's very imaginative. So good, though. I mean, it's right up there. It's one of my favorite shows of all time, honestly. The whole thing. That's obviously, if I can watch it on syndication on Disney television and not be upset by it, it's absolutely something I'm truly enjoying. It's just so much fun to watch. Now, I'm sadly not able to say anything about Hawkeye or The Witcher Season 2 because I haven't seen those yet. I've been on the job, I've been doing a lot of work, and haven't had time to really devote myself to those things like I really want to. So, while they probably deserve to be in this list, they're not going to be included because I just didn't see them. That's the unfortunate thing. Now we're going to talk about some video games. But the first thing we're going to talk about is the game Returnal for the PlayStation 5. I've played some videos from this. That's probably the video clips that are running behind me right now. Maybe the preview of the game, I don't know. One way or the other, something like that. But that was a fantastic game. I'm not big into those kind of, shooter games like that. I mean, I can kind of enjoy them fun, but I'm not the best at them by a long shot. And I didn't complete the game yet. I mean, I had other things I wanted to get to, like some older games like The Last of Us Part 2 and Tales of Arise that I really wanted to jump into. And so the Returnal didn't get completed by me, but it was a lot of fun, and the graphics were fantastic. But the graphics were almost second, in my opinion, to the sound design of that game. I played that game with headphones on. Oh, the sound design blows my mind in that. So good. Sadly, Tales of Arise, as I just mentioned, isn't on this list because I'm barely into it. Again, work took up a lot of time and I wasn't able to play this yet, so I've just now recently started Tales of Arise, which I need to get my butt through as fast as possible because Horizon Forbidden West is dropping in February. So I gotta have my palette of PS5 games cleaned by the time February rolls around. The one game I was able to get in really easily complete recently was another one that's gonna fall on this list though, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intermission. It's a short one. It only took me like maybe 6 hours to complete, maybe 7. And complete the minigame, which was a lot of fun for a minigame. Final Fantasies and their minigames are stupidly addictive. I don't understand that, but man, they are addictive. And, oh, that was great. I really liked playing as the character Yuffie, and if you liked Final Fantasy VII, or you think about getting Final Fantasy VII, you really do need to play Intermission, because there's going to be this massive cutscene, like at the end of it, that's probably going to help you understand FF7R2 whenever it hits. So, yeah, it's not the cheapest DLC in the world. I think it was running $20 when I got it, which is kind of, But still, it's a lot of fun. I mean, the fact that the DLC costs 2/7 of a modern PS5 game's price. Oh, why did they have to go up in price? It's kind of crazy, but still, it was a lot of fun. I went through it pretty fast, enjoyed the story, and really liked the characters. I mean, I think the Yuffie design is a very good one. I mean, it holds true to the original design, and yet kind of brings more to the forefront for her character. She's actually a more interesting character than she was back in the original Final Fantasy VII. I actually think they made all the characters in Final Fantasy VII are more interesting than their original counterparts, but that's just because they're really taking the time to flesh everything out. They're pulling the game apart, you know, like Final Fantasy VII was yay so big, and Final Fantasy VII R is like yay so big. So, you know, that thing. The other one was the game I've just recently started playing on this channel, Inscription. I love card games just like in like real life for playing card games. You know, I played Magic, I played L5R, I played Babylon 5, I played lots of card games over my life. This is a really fun digital card game that so far has been, just so good. The old school graphics, the creepiness of the game, the sound design again. I love good sound design. You gotta make me feel the game and more than just my eyes. I need to hear the game as well. And Inscription just hits that so good. It's weird though too. I mean, where I've gotten to at this point in time, yeah, you'll see some of the videos hopefully. I mean, they're not getting a lot of hits, but I'm still gonna keep making them because I like the game. So it's kind of just like, whatever. Still, it's fun and it's entertaining. And I really am enjoying the game. It's a great release for 2021. I mean, I played some other fun games this year also, some new ones from this year, but then I'm going to leave with these three right there. The saddest category for me of this whole thing, though, is the books category. Because aside from a bunch of manga I've read this year, I've actually only completed one novella. That honestly actually feels really embarrassing. I usually devour a lot of books. Now, I say that, but I actually might have finished a couple earlier on. I think I might have read the first few of The Expanse this year for the first time, but I can't remember if they were 2020 or 2021, so I'm leaving them off the list. So the book, though, I did read was Breach of Peace by one of my favorite booktubers, Daniel B. Green. He has got a really good imagination in this book. I mean, I actually have already bought the sequel to it, Rebel's Call, and I want to read it, but I've got to first finish the novel I'm actually in that I have so far failed to finish because it's one of Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight Archive books, and it's massively long. And when I first opened it up and went, oh crap, I forgot what happened beforehand, closed it, and had to go listen to the audiobooks for 1, 2, and 3 so I could refresh myself. I have the audiobooks so I can listen to the books after I've read them. I always read the physical copy first because I like having it on my shelf, and I really like the tactile feel of reading a book. My novel reading kind of fell behind as well. I've got a whole bunch of books I want to read stacked up. I've got the Dragon Prince novels I've got set aside. I've got Cytonic, which is another Brandon Sanderson novel, but it's set in the Skyward series. I need to read that one. I've got Daniel B. Green's sequel, Rebel's Call. I've got the West of the Witcher series, which I haven't finished reading that. I've got more of The Expanse I need to read. I have a whole... There's a Japanese word that I'll put on the screen that means to buy books and not read them, and I have a bad case of that, even though I do try to get around to reading the books. And this year was really rough on me not completing reading books. Actually, my biggest embarrassment of 2021 is the fact that I failed to read as much as I should have. I read a lot of manga this year. Because manga is quick, I can sit down and be done with the whole thing in an hour, toss it aside, put it on my shelf, and I'm done. But still, I really should have read more novels. That's pretty embarrassing in my opinion. Now, that is my 21 item list. But before we go, I'm going to talk about really quick, briefly, some runner-ups. Things I considered putting on this list, but didn't actually put on the list. The first up is the Wheel of Time TV show on Amazon Prime. Now, I like this show and have problems with this show at the same time. I like it because it's bringing popularity to the Wheel of Time. I like it because the casting has been absolutely fantastic. I like it because it's actually an interesting story. I have problems with it because there are times they've made changes to the original story that I don't understand and don't see why they did it. The worst part is episodes 1 and episodes 8 are by far the worst episodes of the season. I actually think it gets better. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 keeps getting better and better and better and better and better and better from a bad beginning, but then it drops off. So that's that honorable mention. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, another Disney Plus TV show. I really enjoyed this. I really liked it. I just don't quite think it was as good as WandaVision or Loki. So I put it in the honorable mentions because honestly it's really good, but I like the other two more. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I did like it, but the other two I think were better. And that's the same place that What If is going to fall into. What If is an unusual one because it's an imagination thing. And again, it's animation, so I do love animation. So that one should have been on the list, but again, it was weird. And also I don't know. There's something about zombies in the Marvel Universe that didn't quite sit too well with me. And don't get me wrong, I like zombie films. But the zombies in the Marvel Universe, I don't know. That just kind of didn't have the right flavor to me. I don't know if that's right or not, but it just was weird. I've covered my list, my 21 favorite things from 2021. And I've covered a good number of honorable mentions that almost made it but didn't quite make it. I probably left some stuff out I enjoyed as well and thought about. I mean, honestly, one of my things I did the most this year was I actually got to show She-Ra Princesses of Power to several people who hadn't seen it before. And considering that's one of my favorite shows of all time, absolutely all time, having the ability to introduce new people into it was one of my favorite things I did this year also. But the show wasn't from this year. Not even Season 5 was from this year, so I can't include it in this list. But damn straight, it was one of my favorite activities of the year, was introducing new people to the show. But there we're going to stand right there. That's going to be what we're going to call it right now. This video is now going to be coming to a close. All of the things I've talked about, if I discussed them, referenced them, made a video about them, are either going to be in a card up top somewhere that you've seen pop up, or I'll have all the video links down below in the comments section, or in my description section. You know, just click down there where it says more and see the description. They'll all be down there. I'll have lots of video links because I covered a lot of this stuff during this year. And I'm going to call it there. This is 2021, Sleepless Ronin, saying sayonara, and we'll see ya in 2022. Have a good evening.